And hello again. Welcome back to the stream. It's your host Marley Startled, and today I'm pretty much lost for what to play. If I'm honest, I'm going to be playing some South Africa, casual game, historical, and select my nation. So yeah, I'll take them. I haven't even looked at my mills, if I'm honest. Probably should build some. There's no research for trains. Wow, how do people play this nation? I can't play this nation. Can't do it. Won't do it. Refuse to do it. Change the name of the stream. Prove you ain't an AI. I've got to do one of those tests. Are you not? Are you a robot? Half the time I fail them because I'm just so lazy. It's like, yeah, that's a lamppost and that's a lamppost, even though it's like a wall. So it's got to the point in some of those forums where it's like, prove you're not a robot. You're like, you know what? I just don't want to bother. I will not comment because I cannot be bothered to go through the gauntlet that is proving that I'm not a robot. Deploy the plebs. Oh, we can't deploy any plebs. What do you mean? What do you mean? Oh crap. That was an overrun. This is not a high IQ game. Okay, let's look at this. We'll deploy the last of these. If I do anti-air, am I going to run out of anti-air? Yes, I am. So get rid of that anti-air. 20 width infantry, save it. When is my mechanized going to be ready? 99 days. We can wait for 99 days. Until then, we need to start building our light panzers because we didn't build them earlier. Ugh. Yeah, that's not going to fit. Yeah, I didn't think so. And time to make garbage. These tanks are going to be my hot garbage. Potentially, maybe on weekends, but it's just multiplayer games are such a chore to play. They're so painful because you've got to go through vetting. You don't know what lobby you're going to get into. You don't know what sort of people you're going to be talking to, and it could end up being just like a load of tryhards who just break your soul. But I'd probably end up playing a meme. I would like to play a meme multiplayer game eventually. Yeah, disaster videos just tend to be the quickest way of using the mechanics, which can be quite boring. Which can be rather boring. How soon should you upgrade? So actually, you should, if you're going to play historical multiplayer, 40 whips are quite bad because they're too expensive and they're not good at line filling. So really, 20 whips tend to be the most reliable. Now everyone's sort of arguing about the current meta for the new not one step back yet, but I still think 40 whip tanks are still meta. I think 40 whip tanks are still pretty good. People are saying, oh, but you can't get such and such within it, but people are too obsessed about the terrain penalties right now. You got to think, okay, how much armor difference can a 40 whip armor and a 30 whip armor division have? And of course, in terms of soft attack, armor, breakthrough, a 40 whip will probably have a lot more than say a 30 whip. However, if you want to go for 30 whips to get a full tiles and go right ahead on planes, but I think 40 whips are still pretty powerful. How did you get admin? We're good. We're good. What's the speed on this anyway? 8.8. Well, that's pretty slow. That's a slow boy, but hey ho. What's his soft attack like? Not bad. Hard attack's okay. Yeah, it'll be fine. He's got some armor, but not a lot. So April, May, June. So may as well go Danzig or War now. Oh, we need to do the Molotov Rock and Drop Pack. I almost forgot. Yeah, I'm training the boys up. I've done shift click. So if you shift click, they will train up to their fully trained status and then they'll stop training. What's the best mod in Hive for? That's a lot of mods to pick from. I think if you want a fun meme multiplayer game, Road to 56 is really good. Road to 56 is a great mod for a nice casual multiplayer game. For like multiplayer balances, there's like historical, which is really good for new players because it takes out all the meme focuses. So if you're a new player and you don't know what you're doing, you won't accidentally click the wrong focus and ruin the game for everyone. There was a spot mod for a while, but it wasn't very good. But I think my favourite was Road to 56. The only reason I stopped playing Road to 56 before I started streaming was because it stopped working for me. So I'd go for like 6 hours in a lobby, we'd switch to the mod, and my mod wouldn't work, and I couldn't join the lobbies. And it broke me. I was very upset. The games have begun. 1, 2. I should have trained up my air. Bruh. Oh well. What a shame. Where is my air anyway? You're telling me that's all the air I've got? I don't believe you. There we are. Okay, let's do this. Trees of green, red roses true. I see them bloom for me and you. These tanks are quite slow. What a wonderful world. Who's bombing my trains? Thank you. Choo choo. Choo choo. Sadly not. I did not train them like a potato, and I'm about to get encircled because I was a potato and I did not micro my tanks. Where'd all my tanks go anyway? I've got tanks up here. Alright, new plan. You're going to go yellow so I can see you a bit better. Yellow. That didn't help in the slightest. It's taking longer than I expected. Probably because I've got so many boys I need to encircle. Get rid of that. Misclick. Wow, Poland does not like to quit, does it? Okay, let's retreat back. Let's knock out Danzig. Let's go. What am I low on? Pretty much everything in terms of rubber, which is a shame. I'll buy rubber off you then. No, we're still going. We're still going. How many casualties? 14k. That's the sort of casualties I like to see. And we're done. Ah, there you go. Yeah, I always love it. Thank you. Thank you for the happiness. Oh god, no. Let's get rid of this. And let's do this again. Whoa, I didn't agree to this. This action does not have my consent. There we are. Okay, so if I put a mechanized in you... Yeah, we got plenty of mechanized. Look at that. We're a hefty boy. 97, 97, 97, 97. There we are. 100. Go. Oh, they're not piercing me either, which is pretty amusing. How many casualties have I taken? Let's take a look. I've taken 19k casualties.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
Whoa, you need to stay in Paris, old boy. Don't know what your devious plan is.
Ausrücken. Weiter, weiter.
Yeah, Paris is getting memed on right now, but I'm sort of memeing my own unit, so bear that in mind.
Befehle.
Oh wow, I've got no air superiority. Whoa, what happened here? Oh, that's one drive. Okay. That's fine, that's fine. This is not fine. Let's send this over. Blah, 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 blah. Yeah. And you know the drill. What have I got? You know, let's let it play. Let's let the music play. He won't get away.
Greift weiter an. Angetreten. Ausrücken. Befehle.
Damn straight, Paris is mine. There we are. Established Victory France. Job done in the space of... So September, October, November. Space of 3 months. We've just dabbed on the dabbed on the allies. So how did this work? Well, let me tell you my mad logic. So, why did this meme division work? Because tanks have now been dabbed on by not one step back. What you can do now is, instead of trying to push armor, you push breakthrough and hardness. So, with this build, I went with radio 2s for my light tank, and I made him cheap as hell. And this meant I could make a load of light tanks, and then I went with mechanized. So the mechanized basically made the tanks hard, which meant that they took less soft attack, and the light tanks gave it breakthrough. Now this will be garbage against other tanks, but against infantry it's just going to drive over everything because of just how hard it is. So that's why I just dabbed on the French. That was the logic, the method in the madness. So as you can see with my Tonk build, you can tell it's a garbage tank. So the tank is pretty garbage, but I make 4.8 a day. But we're going to transition now because people want a tiger, so it's time to transition. First on the list, what I need to do is go to my heavy tank chassis and make it cheap as hell. We're going cheap. Cheapies. Piercing, armor, breakthrough. Breakthrough is the one I want. Speed up. I think that's the fastest one. Cast armor, which is the cheapest? This is the cheapest. Riveted armor. Kaiserreich, yeah, give Kaiserreich a go. We'll add that to the list. But you have to probably recommend what nation as well. So Cold War, let me alt tab. So we need to do Cold War. Also, if you have a nation to recommend, don't feel free to hesitate. No, feel free not to hesitate and tell me what nation. Kaiserreich, I'll give Kaiserreich a go. Bogey suspension, which is cheapest? Max speed. This is expensive. This is not a tiger. But I'm going to call it a tiger. Oh, God, no. Why have I done this? I've screwed up my production line. I tried to make it as cheap as possible and it just ended up betraying me. EU, no, Britain left Turkey and Serbia. Can we join? No. Yeah, exactly. Good as I think I am. See, what I need to do is create a false narrative and just heavily edit my videos to make myself look better than I am. Africa Corps. We going to El Alamein. Or not. You can do this, Italy. I believe in you. I believe. All you got to do is close that pocket and we're good to go. Literally just what happened, problematic. Literally just yeeting to El Alamein and it was like, ah, fuel. Perhaps I should have made some fuel. Come on, you can crash this. My tank's actually getting pushed back.
Befehle. Zuhören. Ihre Befehle.
Oh, they finally did it.
Achtung.
There we are. Whoa. Wow.
Bereit zum Ausrücken.
Wow.
Ihre Befehle. Bereit. Bereit. Bereit.
Is UK actually going to capitulate? Yeah. There we are, war's over. What to conquer? Other nations, there we are, we're good.
Bereit zum Ausrücken. Ausrücken.
Easy.
Bereit. Los, los, los. Ihre Befehle. Bereit zum Ausrücken. Befehle.
Nah, we don't need to make a front. We don't need to make a front.
Ihre Befehle. Ihre Befehle.
Actual military planning is old meta. Just yeeting it with tanks is new meta. Well, mechanized. Mechanized is OP.
Befehle.
Mechanized is broken.
Ausrücken. Bereit zum Ausrücken. Zuhören. Ausrücken. Ausrücken. Zuhören. Ihre Befehle.
Yes, they are full mech divisions, but with a slight twist. An ever so slight twist. So the twist is, with these divisions, is they have one, oh that's not it. They have one light tank and one heavy tank. And so they get a little bit of armor, but for the most part they do what they need to do. And they get a lot higher breakthrough because this tank has got higher breakthrough, so altogether it works a bit better. However, I am tempted now to remove this and let's add a mechanized like that. And let's get rid of all the light tanks because we no longer need the light tanks. They've done their job. This would not work, of course, in most games, but it will work against the AI because the AI does not build hard attack tanks. But because it's got hardness, it means that it doesn't get hit by light infantry. It doesn't get hit by soft attack, so you can just do as you please. So we've researched this to give us our next radio. We're now going to go down this fellow, upgrade the Tiger. Give him the radio, advanced radio. Can I give him a better heavy tank cannon yet? Nope. Give him that. 27, that'll work. It's almost like Space Marines, but with mechanized. Effectively. That's what it is. Space Marines, but with mechanized.
Befehle.
So if we look at the stats now, soft attack 116, breakthrough 119, 63% hardness, 517 defense, meaning that it will not get hurt by infantry, meaning you can just drive through, like nothing's going to hurt me, unless they've got heavy hard attack, which the AI won't make. So there you go, 88, 89. And that's even without upgrading my generals. Because mechanized is overpowered now, it's just so broken. Like, because of the, you can do production cost reduction when you're building your mechanized. You can put out almost as many mechanized as you can guns in some cases, so it can be disgusting. Once you get fully enough XP to do it. The only thing is that eventually you run out of fuel, so you've got to bear that in mind. This is going to get encircled, I notice. Oh no, won't get encircled, we're good. However, yeah, the fuel is what limits it. You can tell, as you can probably see. So until we get our fuel back, we're pretty much dumped. And there we are. When do I get my mechanized to 130 days? Come on now. I've been waiting for you all day. Why did I research that? That was a complete waste. Job done. Finally, what I've been waiting for. So what makes mechanized so disgustingly overpowered now is the fact that you can now reduce the production cost. So if you get your military XP high enough, you can just keep on farting these out. So what I need to do now is build the Mark II with the lower production cost. So I can now make 25 a day. But it'll just get worse and, well, better and better as time goes on. And here's why. Because it hasn't got very good soft attack. It hasn't got very good hard attack. It hasn't got really any good air attack. It's got good defense, so it might be alright on the defensive. It's got a load of AUG, so it might be good as an AUG wall holder. But it's got no piercing, so any 40 whip proper tank division is going to clap you. It's got no armor, so any 20 whip tank division is going to clap you. And it's got okay breakthrough. But so that means this will be great against plebeian soft attack infantry, but garbage against any sort of armor. So depending on what the enemy player's doing, if they've actually invested in an effective tank force, then you're stuffed. However, what this does work is that it's got so many of them. I've got 40 of these divisions that I can just drown the enemy and mechanize, which right now a lot of players are struggling to do in terms of old meta. So that may be something to bear in mind. But then again, I haven't really seen most vanilla games of how this is played out. Most people are playing mods that basically revert the no step back DLC combat mechanics because they don't understand the new mechanics. So they're like, you know what, we'll just go back to how the old game worked and just buff the armor of the tank. It's like, that's great fun. Not. How many days? Okay. So I am making... Why have I got 2 opal bleaches? Nope. 48 of these a day, bearing in mind that it would never be that big. But now with a little bit of TLC, a bit of reliability, a bit of production, a bit of reliability. Oh, that's a shame. That's a shame. Let's go for production cost again. Oh, that's too... No, we're going to go reliability. We can just keep farting these out. I mean, we're already on 2.1k. 2.1k already, bruh. How's Britain doing? Britain's not doing too bad, and actually Italy's doing pretty well on this sector as well. Good, ARs keep going. Oh yeah, so combat width. Generally speaking, if you want to do a proper tank design for combat width, so standard combat width, if we click on this, this is a combat width of 90. So that means I can get 240 whips or 330 whips. However, in marshes that changes, and that means I can only get 78. So that means I can only get 140 whip or 230 whips. In the forests, I can get 240 whips and only 230 whips. So generally speaking, 30 whips can get on most tiles to get away from the combat penalty, but 40 whips of course pack the extra punch. So generally, if you want a tank division that's still got adequate armor and adequate breakthrough and is going to fit on most tiles, then your 30 whips are your go-to guys, because you can at least get 2 of them in each battle. Whereas with 40 whips, you can only probably get maximum 2, maybe 1 in most battles. So 30 whips tend to be better to get as many tanks as possible in, but of course it's not that simple, because bearing in mind that a 30 whip won't have the same stats as a 40 whip, and so everyone's going mad saying, 40 whips meta is dead. Well, actually a 40 whip tank is going to be better than two 30 whip tanks, because the 40 whip tanks has got more armor and more piercing and more hard attack, and the 30 whips can't pierce the 40 whip. However, unless they go real hard into anti-tank 3, in which case everything can pierce you, and then it's just a case of who's got more tanks. So people are right now going mad over combat whip meta. I still think 40 whips pretty workable for tanks, and if you're feeling pretty cheeky, go to 30 whips. But everyone's going crazy trying to find a new meta so they can become the god gamer MLG. Spoilers, it's probably still 40 whips, because everyone's obsessed about the combat penalty. It's not just about the combat penalty. It's also about the armor. It's also about the breakthrough. It's also about the piercing. And the 30 whip's not going to have as much piercing as a 40 whip, and a 30 whip may not even be able to pierce a 40 whip tank. And so it doesn't matter if they've got 2 30 whips in the battle. If those 2 30 whips can't pierce your 1 40 whip tank, then you're just going to dab on those 2 30 whips, and that combat penalty can get shoved right up their arse. So everyone's going crazy about the combat meta. I think it's a bit silly. Just keep going. With tanks, just keep on going for that 40 whip for now. And if you're feeling pretty scared, go to 30 whips. But that's just my plebeian design. And you can do 20 whips if you want, but 20 whips aren't good. 20 whips aren't designed for tank combat. You're going to struggle there. Anyway, it's time for Barb. Co-allies. Let's go. All right, let's see what happens if I just let the game play itself. And some people say 10 whips to meta. Well, 10 whips ain't the meta, because most 10 whip builds are banned in multiplayer games. It's like saying, well, Space Marines are the meta. Well, I think you find that Space Marines have been banned for pretty much since the game started. So going around saying 10 whips is meta is like saying, well, Space Marines is meta. Or sub 3s are meta. And no. No. Anyway, where were we? It's time to no longer build. This is broken, I don't know why. I can't fix it. Oh well. Yeah. And of course you can go lie on 20 whip, but 20 whip tanks aren't are pretty dangerous, because you're just going to get dabbed on by 40 whips. But 20 whips for infantry is pretty much still standard. I don't think it's changed that much. People want to say it's changed, but I like 30 whips now. I like 30 whips. I think they fit more into it, but I still think 40 whips are good enough for what you need them for.
Befehle!
40 whips really are still pretty powerful in the current build. See, there's not enough soft attack to kill all of these quickly, but it doesn't matter because I've just got so many of them. Right, let's go down to 3 speed so I can do some micro.
Abstand halten! Unter Beschuss!
No, I've attached them. I've attached them to my air wings already. There you are. It's already attached.
Zuhören! Vorrücken! Zeigt es ihnen! Vorrücken! Befehle!
Let's go this way.
Befehle!
So I'm just max pinning him right now. I mean, yeah, it's not very optimum. They're not breaking through particularly quickly, but because they can't do hard attack on me, they don't have any hard attack, I can just drive through. I can just drive through.
Befehle!
Lol, 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 lol.
Los, ausrücken! Auf geht's! Zuhören!
Lol, 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 lol. We're going to Minsk right now. Not at Moscow yet, but we'll get there.
Zuhören! Vorrücken!
But I am running out of oil again. Give me oil. Give me oil. Give me oil.
Bereit zum Ausrücken!
So what I've found with this build is that it doesn't have enough soft attack. So it's not going to get pushed back anytime soon, but it's pretty dank in terms of not having enough soft attack. Still, how many have I killed in one day? Let me check the battles. I can't, the game's broken, probably because I ended. Sweden, I give Sweden a go. Let's add that to the notepad tricks. So notepad, Sweden vanilla. Sweden vanilla. Let's go Sweden vanilla. Do you want a Sweden meme game, I assume? I assume you want a Sweden meme game.
Ihre Befehle? Ausrücken! Ihre Befehle?
Let's go to Vitebsk. Sweden to make Scandinavia. Oh, to make the, like, okay, yeah. Sweden vanilla, make Baltic blob. Okay, that shouldn't be too hard. That shouldn't be too hard.
Ihre Befehle?
Just join the Axis and just blob it.
Bereit? Bereit zum Ausrücken!
I am sort of running out of fuel. Okay, this is no longer a problem.
Angetreten!
Come on, you should have taken Psychov. That's embarrassing. So this works great because this is a hard unit, and so it's not going to get attacked anytime soon. It's not going to get pushed off anytime soon. It's got strong defense. However, the big failing thing of this is that it's got no soft attack. And so, great defense, no infantry unit's going to touch it. It's basically Space Marines with mechanized. That's what it is.
Los, los, los! Zeigt es ihnen! Befehle?
La la la. Got no fuel, I've been cucked. Got no fuel, I've been cucked.
Angetreten!
So I got Leningrad.
Befehle!
And I'm getting overruns by snaking, which is pretty standard.
Ausrücken! Zuhören! Bereit!
You need to go this way.
Zurück!
But you ran out of fuel, so that could be a problem.
Angetreten!
There we are, we got Kiev. That's what we needed. And now we can go around like that. Yay, blob.
Angetreten! Auf geht's! Komm!
Yay, blob. I'm running out of fuel again. USA, because we're not at war, would you like to trade with fuel for me? You.
Angetreten! Weiter, weiter! Bereit!
Let's go up here.
Zuhören!
Because it's got no front line anymore, so. Fuel! Alright, no more problem.
Vorrücken! Ihre Befehle?
So I've just right-clicked this entire time. I am starting to run out of equipment though, but I think I've pretty much wiped out
Befehle?
the entirety of the Soviet army.
Ihre Befehle? Vorwärts, Männer!
We're going to stop attacking Gomel. Gomel is sort of wasting my time.
Auf geht's!
There we are. Got some fuel back. Bu- 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 bu. And we are done. Almost. I just need to get a cheeky encirclement here. If only I had fuel. My kingdom for some fuel. Not fuel. Supply. Oh, come on now. How many days do I need to waste on that?
Zum Ausrücken! Ausrücken!
There we are. Now we're fat. Now we're good.
Auf geht's! Ausrücken!
You can't hurt me. I'm too hard.
Ausrücken!
My hardness is too much for you.
Auf geht's! Los, los! Bereit!
Especially once everyone's pinned.
Abstand halten! Auf geht's! Bereit!
Go this way. Link up.
Ausrücken!
We need to link up.
Zeigt es ihnen!
Really rather mind-numbing, but pretty nice to get those fat encirclements. And that's just because I've been pinning them so they can't maneuver their lines. So because I've been constantly pinning them, so they can't do anything. So that's another large amount of troops yeeted out of existence. Have I run out of equipment yet? I've run out of anti-air. Well, we don't need it, anti-air. Anti-air is nasty. No one likes anti-air. I'm still making a positive. Oh my god, I can keep on churning these bad boys out. Mechanized is OP. The new patch is like, in all seriousness, you could just make a mechanized force. Like you could just have entire armies as fully mechanized. Like I could get rid of this, have this, and actually in a proper game, I could have this as a large proportion of my army, and then I'd build some proper tank units. But that mechanized could just like be the replacements for my infantry. Because that's ridiculous. Like the new reduction in production costs has made mechanized so painfully powerful. Just because you can get so many of them out, and they've got so much better stats. The only thing that's going to hurt them is our enemy tanks. Like how many am I producing? Well, bear in mind this has not been a properly historical game. Like 68. I've got 130 XP. So let's see what I could do if I maxed it. A production cost of 6. I'm now making 85 per term. Bear in mind that's a lot of factories, but that is ridiculous. 85. I'm making, in terms of guns, 154. I could literally have armies of of mechanized. It's ridiculous. This is cursed. I mean, don't get me wrong, they got crap soft attack, but nothing's going to hurt them unless there's enemy tanks. And all you got to do is roll out some anti-tank and you're good.
Vorrücken!
Like, ridiculously good. Especially if you've got a Bulgaria player making mechanized as well, you can just have a real fun time.
Bereit! Bereit! Vorwärts, Männer! Ausrücken! Wieder zurück!
Mechanized is OP. Like, I don't think people realise this yet, but the new production reduction has made mechanized disgustingly powerful.
Achtung!
It's just the hardness, because it makes the unit hard. It means that infantry units can't do anything to it. So eventually, these mechanized will win every battle they fight in. It will take them ages. So unless you have a tank on every single front, you're just not going to be able to stop this horde.
Greift weiter an!
Especially if you're doing soft attack and things like that as well. Or you've actually got some dedicated tanks. This is amazing.
Ziehen uns zurück!
Like, it's just disgusting. I can't even look at my casualties. Why can't I look at my casualties? That's a shame. You're all got encircled there. Oh no.
Achtung!
It's because my mechanizer is literally just yeeting now.
Achtung!
Yep, yep.
Zeigt es
And
ihnen!
goodbye. That should be you done with. He says. I should clear this out because I haven't got any supply here. Start marching to Stalingrad.
Wieder zurück! Los, los, los!
Where's the supply lacking? Over here. But because I've advanced so quickly, I can't actually repair this yet. It's ridiculous. Oh, you're going to get out, aren't you? Yeah, you're going to get out. That's a shame. I mean, I can corner you and then hopefully that'll work. Sadly, no supply in there for me. No supply in there for me. Leningrad's gone. That front's gone. It's all gone. And that finally ran out of support equipment. Thank you for that support equipment. Moscow's gone. It's all gone. Am I going to get Stalingrad before 1942? Let's find out. Let's 5-speed it. No, but I'm going to circle another couple of thousand divisions. Interesting. Like if you actually look at the stats, mechanized can't get pierced because there's no DI does not put any anti-tank in its units, and because it's got one heavy tank, it can just keep attacking. It's got no fuel, but it's still attacking, and it can't get pierced back, so it's just going to win. Again, pretty good breakthrough. Pretty good soft attack. Because it's hard, no one's going to kill it. And let's keep on rolling through. So this is more of an experiment with a meme that's doing mechanized. But from what I've found, I feel like mechanized are extremely powerful now. If you've got a good Bulgaria, or if you've got a good Axis, and he puts enough in reducing the production cost of mechanized, you can vomit that stuff out. Like, how many am I getting out now? Let's say realistically, I did not have 50 factories, well, not 50, that's more than that, 10, 20, 30, 40, 150 factories on this. Let's say I only had 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. That's 37. That's still pretty ridiculously powerful, and then the rest can go into tanks. Like, that is still ridiculous, and that's not even fully buffed yet. If we fully buff this, production cost, reliability. Let's go for the Panzer Comp D. Let's wait till it gets full efficiency. Still on 1939 production. And see where that ends up. Like, that's half the amount of guns I'm making. Well, not half, it's about 25%. It's ridiculous. Like, how many have I got? 4K, yeah. And plus, with the Bulgarians 4K, you can just have mechanized infantry. You could literally just have mechanized infantry if you put enough army XP into it and you proper sweat. Finally. Dominate that way. To put it this way, this has got garbage soft attack. So if we actually built a 20 whip mechanized like this and saved it, and then we built this as a infantry replacement. So let's get rid of this. Actually, let's not do that. Yeah, actually, let's get rid of that. Let's get rid of this and keep the motorized Reeknon. So you can see that's going to have 139 soft attack. So let's build an infantry division like that. 129 soft attack here. 139. So the soft attack is going to be pretty similar. Hard attack is 17. Hard attack is 77. Defensive 363. Defensive 734. So on a defense, the mechanized is just going to be better. And as for the most part, these are line holders if you're going to use these infantry replacements. That's good. Breakthrough of 66. A breakthrough of 65. So that effectively makes it double in terms of breakthrough effectiveness. So this will take a lot less damage. Some armor, which that's not going to have. Piercing of 18. This is a piercing of 4, but that doesn't really matter because either you're going to pierce it or not. An Org of 89. An Org of 83. Combat width of 20. And a hardness of 70. Whereas this has a hardness of a whopping 0. So primarily you get some slight stat changes, but the big one is hardness, and that means that you will take no damage against infantry. So I have a sickly feeling that you can make a mechanized force to replace infantry for Barbarossa if you've got enough production reduction. bonuses to your mechanized, and because you can make so many of them, you can have 2 armies worth of mechanized. Oh, hello. To effectively just block the line, and unless they're spamming tanks, which in most games players won't spam tanks because of course they're trying to make those 40 whip good quality breakthrough tanks, you're just going to roll over a Soviet. Unless they're playing some sort of mod which gives them a load of tanks, or they're going to make garbage tanks. But no one's going to make garbage tanks because everyone's going to be making the 40 whips because it's old meta and everyone loves old meta. I suppose if I had like a 1 medium tank as well, but then of course you've got to bear in mind you're going to have a breakthrough force, so most of your tanks are going to go to a specialized force, which is going to be like heavy, 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 heavy. Bear in mind these haven't got all the text yet, so bear that in mind. It's just going to be something like this, and so you've got to bear that in mind if you are going to do this, that you are going to need to probably just have mechanized as its own separate unit and have a tank unit on its own. And now I can cut this down as well. Mechanized, down, down, heavy, 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 heavy. Whoa, that's not heavy. Okay, that's the final one. That's the final one. It's going to look like something like this. And so you've got to bear that in mind. So that's going to have 497 sort attack. Bear in mind this is not older text, so what you can do, or I see what you have a potential to do, is just have like full mechanized 20 whips just to be line holders, and that's be disgusting. And even push against infantry because it's just so cheap to produce, while you have something like this in the background with better tech and tanks and armor to do that breakthrough, do that soft attack, and of course if you've got a decent cannon on it, to do some piercing and hard attack as well. Anyway, I have my list of potential mods we can play. So of course we have got Endsieg, La Resistance, Calm Before the Storm, Cold War, a Kaiserreich, and a potential multiplayer game where I do a 30-minute wait before hosting. Will be a meme game. Also Nordic Empire and Sweden Vanilla. So if I save that and put it to desktop, that's potentially something we can do next time. So desktop, Hive 4 list. Anyway, that's me done for the day, boys. Tomorrow will probably be this again, but with the mods requested. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed, and I will see you all later. As you can see, a pretty potent build. Like, I was getting ridiculous amounts, but bear in mind, you'd normally not be able to knock out a UK like this. And when I mean it's a meme build, it's not a potent build, but I could see it being, bits of it being used for a better build, and that is mechanized. Mechanized is ridiculous. It's cocaine now. It is literal cocaine. Anyway, that's me. Have a good one, and I'll see you all later. Adieu.